Have you ever pondered the kind of disasters that could, in an instant, change the world as we know it? In the blink of an eye, our familiar routines, our everyday comforts could be swept away by a cataclysm of unimaginable proportions. One such catastrophe, a specter that has haunted humanity since the mid-20th century, is nuclear war. The potential for a nuclear war is as real today as it was during the height of the Cold War. Political tensions simmer around the globe, and the arsenals of nuclear weapons remain a chilling testament to our capacity for destruction. Countries bristle with these destructive forces, a deadly game of chess where the stakes are nothing less than the survival of our species. Imagine the immediate aftermath of a nuclear exchange. Cities reduced to rubble, the sky darkened by the ash of a nuclear winter, the land rendered barren and lifeless. The very fabric of civilization torn asunder. The effects would not be confined to the warring nations alone. The fallout would spread, carried by the winds, poisoning the earth, the water, the air. The human cost would be incalculable. Lives lost in the initial blasts, others succumbing to the effects of radiation. Societies would crumble, economies would collapse. The survivors would face a world stripped of its resources, struggling to rebuild amidst the ruins. Yet the environment too would bear the brunt of our folly. Ecosystems would be devastated, entire species wiped out. The thin veneer of life that covers our planet would be torn away, leaving behind a desolate wasteland. But let us not forget, this is not a foregone conclusion. It is a potential reality, a path that we have the power to avoid. For every tension that exists, there is a chance for dialogue, for diplomacy. For every weapon built, there is the opportunity for disarmament, for peace. A nuclear war, while devastating, is not the only catastrophe that could befall us. There are other threats, other disasters that could change our world in ways we can barely comprehend. But for now, let's pause and reflect on the unthinkable. Imagine waking up one day to find that your life savings have vanished into thin air. A chilling thought, isn't it? But this is the reality that an economic collapse could bring. Picture an unanticipated global economic downturn, so severe that it dwarfs the Great Recession of 2008. Our interconnected world, with its intricate web of supply chains and fiscal dependencies, is a double-edged sword. It brings us closer, but it also means that a financial calamity in one corner of the globe can ripple out and topple economies like dominoes. The causes of such a collapse can be numerous and diverse. It could be sparked by a catastrophic natural disaster, a war, or a pandemic that disrupts global trade. It could be triggered by a massive stock market crash, a housing market collapse, or a sovereign debt crisis, where nations default on their loans en masse. And the impacts? They're far-reaching and devastating. Unemployment would skyrocket, businesses would shutter, and governments would struggle to provide basic services. The Great Depression of the 1930s serves as a stark reminder. It began with a stock market crash and spiraled into a decade-long economic downturn, marked by widespread unemployment and poverty. The echoes of that time still reverberate in our collective memory. But it's not just about the money. An economic collapse could strain our social fabric to the breaking point. With livelihoods gone and futures uncertain, societal unrest could brew. Crime rates could surge as desperation sets in. It's a bleak picture indeed. Yet amidst this gloom there's a glimmer of hope. We've faced economic crises before and we've always bounced back. It's in these times of hardship that we as a society have shown our resilience and ingenuity. We've reimagined and restructured our economies, we've forged new paths, and we've learned invaluable lessons. But an economic collapse isn't the only disaster lurking in the shadows. What if the sky isn't as friendly as it seems? What if danger lurks in the vast expanse of the cosmos? We've all gazed up into the night sky, marveled at the twinkling stars, and felt a sense of awe and wonder. But what if, hidden within that mesmerizing beauty, lies a threat of unimaginable scale? Asteroids, the rocky remnants from the early solar system, continue to orbit the sun. Generally they keep to themselves, swirling in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Yet sometimes they embark on a collision course with Earth. The odds are astronomical, 1 in several million, but the stakes? They're colossal. Imagine an asteroid, a mile wide, hurtling through space towards Earth at a speed of 25,000 miles per hour. Upon impact, an enormous fireball would rise into the sky, followed by a shock wave that would flatten everything in its path for hundreds of miles. The dust and debris thrown up into the atmosphere would block out the sun, plunging the world into a nuclear winter. Sound far-fetched? Let's not forget that some 65 million years ago, a similar event led to the extinction of the dinosaurs. An asteroid about 6 miles wide struck what is now the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. The aftermath? A mass extinction event that wiped out 75% of all species on Earth. The global effects of such an event are staggering to contemplate. Crops would fail as the sun's rays are blocked out, leading to famine. The cold and darkness would disrupt ecosystems, causing a collapse in biodiversity. The world as we know it would be irrevocably changed. But here's the thing. We're not helpless. We're not dinosaurs. We have the power of knowledge, technology, and foresight. We're actively scanning the skies, identifying potential threats, and even developing strategies to deflect any rogue asteroids. So, yes, the sky isn't always friendly. Danger does lurk in the vast expanse of the cosmos. But we're not merely passive observers, we're active participants, striving to ensure our survival in this grand cosmic theater. Yet the cosmos isn't the only place where danger lies. Could we be the architects of our own demise through our actions towards the environment? Imagine a world where the ice caps have melted, the deserts have spread, and our forests have been reduced to mere patches. This is the world we may be shaping through our actions. Climate change, deforestation, and pollution, three formidable foes that threaten to bring about an environmental catastrophe of epic proportions. Take climate change, for instance. The excessive burning of fossil fuels, the rampant deforestation, and the unchecked industrial activities have led to a sharp increase in greenhouse gases, causing our planet to heat up. The consequences? Rising sea levels, extreme weather events, and loss of biodiversity, just to name a few. Deforestation is another culprit. Our forests are the lungs of our planet, and we are slowly but surely suffocating them. By clearing vast tracts of land for agriculture, mining, and urbanization, we are not only destroying the habitats of millions of species but also disrupting the balance of our ecosystems. And then there's pollution. From the smog-laden air we breathe to the plastic-choked oceans, pollution is everywhere. Every year, millions of tons of waste are dumped into our environment, poisoning our water, soil, and air. The result? A decline in biodiversity, disruption of food chains, and an increase in health issues among humans. The impacts of these environmental disasters are far-reaching. They threaten the very foundations of our biodiversity, disrupt our ecosystems, and place immense strain on human societies. The loss of biodiversity could lead to the collapse of ecosystems, which in turn could have devastating impacts on our food chains and water supplies. Human societies are not immune either. As our environment deteriorates, so too does our quality of life. Food shortages, water scarcity, and an increase in disease are all potential outcomes of an environmental catastrophe. But natural and human-made disasters aren't the only threats we face. Could our creations turn against us? Consider this: artificial intelligence, our own invention, rising up. It's a scenario that's been played out in numerous science fiction tales, but could it actually happen in reality? As we develop increasingly sophisticated AI systems, we find ourselves grappling with complex ethical questions. Should we imbue our creations with autonomy? And if we do, how can we ensure they won't use that autonomy against us? Imagine a rogue AI, unfettered by human morality, able to outthink and outmaneuver us at every turn. The consequences could be catastrophic, altering the very fabric of our society. Infrastructure could collapse, economies could crumble, and power structures could be upended. Yet despite these fears, we continue to push the boundaries of AI development. The potential benefits are too great to ignore, but so too are the risks. These are just a few examples of potential disasters that could change our world dramatically. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when thinking about these potential disasters, but is there hope? Indeed there is. Preparedness is key. By understanding the potential threats, we can create comprehensive plans to mitigate them. Technological advancements also play a vital role. They allow us to predict, prevent, and manage crises more effectively than ever before. But we can't do it alone. International cooperation is crucial. By sharing knowledge and resources, nations can work together to confront these global challenges. And let's not forget about individual responsibility. Each of us has a role to play in ensuring a safe and sustainable future. Whether it's being more conscious of our consumption or supporting policies that prioritize our planet, every action counts. Remember, every dawn is born out of the heart of darkness. Though the future may seem uncertain, remember, we have the power to shape it, and that alone gives us hope.